Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So in today's video, we are going to be reviewing one bill by Senator Bernie Sanders, which if passed would increase benefits across the board for all Social Security beneficiaries by $200 every single month or $2,400 over the course of a year. We're going to be going over what's in the bill in addition to the $200 per month increase. Then we're also going to be looking at the bill and how many co-sponsors that it has and discussing how good of a possibility that this bill actually has to pass by the end of this year. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stocks or $9,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth, once again, all the way up to $9,000. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive those free stocks is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our main story, of course, of today's video, and that is the bill that is currently right now in Congress, and it could potentially be voted on and passed in both the Senate and the House, and hopefully be sent to President Biden's desk. That is, of course, if Bernie Sanders gets his way. So this bill, of course, is called the Social Security Expansion Act. Once again, it is being led by Bernie Sanders, but it has the support of other representatives in the House and senators in the Senate. So we're going to be going over what's in this bill, its main intention, and how many co-sponsors that it currently has. So right now up on the screen, you'll see that Social Security is one of the most popular and successful government programs in the history of our country. For more than 80 years, through good times and bad, Social Security has paid out every benefit owed to every eligible American on time and without delay. In 2021, Social Security lifted 26.3 million Americans out of poverty, including more than 18 million seniors. Before it was created in 1935, about half of our nation's seniors were living in poverty. Today, the senior poverty rate is 10.3%. Yet, despite this success, tens of millions of seniors and 25% of people with disabilities are still struggling to get by, and many older workers fear that they will never be able to retire with security and dignity. So the most recent evidence indicates that nearly 40% of seniors rely on Social Security for a majority of their income, and 1 in every 7 seniors rely on it for more than 90% of their income. And to make matters worse, nearly half of Americans aged 55 and older have no retirement savings. Meanwhile, the average Social Security benefit is only $1,688 per month. And Social Security is not going broke. Social Security has a $2.85 trillion surplus in its trust fund and can pay every promised benefit to every single eligible American until the year of 2035. After that, the Social Security Administration estimates there will be enough funding available to pay 80% of promised benefits. Now, there are a couple things that I do have to add to that he mentions there on his website. First off, the trust fund is now expected to run out in the year of 2033, and the way it's worded there by saying that after that they will be able to pay out 80% of the promised benefits, I think that's kind of, I guess, the good way of saying it, because I guess the bad way you could say it is that by that time frame of 2033 they'll actually be receiving a 20% benefit cut. So by saying they'll be able to pay out 80% of the benefits, it makes it sound like it's kind of a good thing, I guess, in a way, when in fact it's actually a bad thing, because it's going to be a cut of anywhere between 20 to 25%. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and dive into what all is contained into this bill, and then we're going to be looking at the bill in the Senate and how many co-sponsors that it has and the likelihood that it has to actually pass. So the first thing that is in the bill is that it's going to extend the solvency of Social Security for 75 years. This is going to be by requiring the wealthiest American households to pay their fair share of taxes. Today, because of the earnings cap on Social Security taxes, a CEO making $20 million a year pays the exact same amount of money into Social Security as someone who makes $160,200 a year. This legislation would lift this cap and subject all income above $250,000 to the Social Security payroll tax. Under this bill, over 93% of households would not see their taxes go up by even 1 penny. Now, on top of that, they would also be expanding these Social Security benefits across the board for current and new beneficiaries by $2,400 a year or $200 per month. In addition to that, they're also going to be increasing the cost of living adjustments. So this bill would more accurately measure these spending patterns for seniors by adopting the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. Older Americans, by and large, are not going out on spending sprees buying big screen TVs, laptops, or the latest high-tech gadgets. Rather, they spend a disproportionate amount of their income on healthcare and prescription drugs, which would be reflected in the formula for calculating COLAs under this legislation. They would also require millionaires and billionaires to pay their fair share into Social Security. So right now, workers have 12.4% taken out of each paycheck and contributed to the Social Security Trust Fund, half paid by the employer and half paid by the worker. This bill would require the wealthy pay the same 12.4% on their investment and business income by increasing the net investment income tax by 12.4% and applying it to certain business income not already covered by payroll taxes. Then on top of that, they would also be improving the special minimum benefit for Social Security recipients. So this bill would help low-income workers stay out of poverty by increasing the special minimum benefit and indexing the benefit level so that it is equal to 125% of the poverty line, or over $18,000 for a single worker who had worked their full career. This would work out to close to $500 per month for an increase for those currently receiving the special minimum benefit. Then on top of that, it would also restore student benefits up to age 22 for children of disabled or deceased workers if the child is a full-time student in a college or vocational school. This legislation would restore student benefits to help educate children of deceased or disabled parents that were eliminated in 1983. And then finally, would also combine the Disability Insurance Trust Fund with the Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund to help senior citizens and people with disabilities. And then also there it shows that there are currently 56 groups who are endorsing this bill at this point in time. But these groups, of course, are not going to be voting on the bill. We're going to have senators and representatives in the House of Representatives instead voting on the bill. And we can see here up on the screen, this bill has been introduced in the Senate by, once again, Senator Bernie Sanders. And right now, we can see that out of the 100 senators, we have 9 co-sponsors. So right now, only 9% in the Senate are supporting this bill. And also you can see that all 9 senators happen to be Democrats. So we have Elizabeth Warren, Sheldon Whitehouse, Jeff Merkley, Chris Van Hollen, Alex Padilla, Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker, Tina Smith, and Edward Markey. And so basically 9% in the Senate are in support of this bill. For this bill to pass in the Senate, they would need to have at least 60 yes votes. They currently have 51 in the Senate who usually side with Democrats, whether they are a Democrat themselves or an independent. So all in all, I would say just the fact that this bill only has 9 senators, who once again all happen to be Democrats, only 9 out of the 60 votes that they would need. This year in 2024, this bill probably isn't all that likely to pass, but we'll definitely have to keep our eyes and ears peeled for this bill to see if any more co-sponsors happen to join in the near future. If it does not pass in 2024, I do expect it to be reintroduced once again by Bernie Sanders in 2025. If he sticks around for another year, we'll definitely have to wait and see for that. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below on this bill. Would you like for it to pass? Would you like for them to pass something else? Let me know your thoughts and comments below, and I will see you in the next video.